Why did you find it important to come to Romania now?
Well, as president of the Union for International Cancer Control and as a mother of a cancer survivor, I see tobacco as one of the #1 enemies of people. And it certainly is responsible for 1/3 of all cancers all over the world, responsible for 7 million people dying each year. So of course, when there is another push to move forward the fight against tobacco, I will always be there. And that is why I came to attend this very important conference.
Besides not using tobacco and not being exposed to tobacco, is there something people can do to minimize the risk of getting this terrible cancer, or is there something they can do to press authorities to do it for them?
Actually, this is a very good question. Because, you know, in the past, the burden on tobacco use, and this was really the work of the tobacco industry, they put the burden on the individual. You know, they are selling to youth, they are marketing to youth, they are everywhere in our everyday life, but they say, oh, it's up to you, whether you follow a healthy lifestyle or not. And that's not a good thing. Of course, we are all responsible. There is a responsibility to the individual to stop smoking, to lead a healthy lifestyle, to not be obese, to reduce sugar, be careful from alcohol. Alcohol is a big cause of cancer as well, too much of it, and not too much, not to burn in the sun, etc. All of those are very important, but actually it is also the duty of governments to provide the enabling environment for people to exercise a healthy lifestyle. How can you exercise a healthy lifestyle if, for example, if junk food and fast food is cheaper than good food? How can you exercise a healthy lifestyle if your city does not provide our youth places to walk, to run, to move freely? How can you exercise a healthy lifestyle if you go to a public place and everybody is smoking and you are a victim of second-hand tobacco smoke that is also 100% a carcinogen as classified by IARC, the International Agency for Cancer Research. So yes, it is, the person can also, should be aware how to protect oneself from the risk of cancer, how to prevent cancer, but at the same time it is the duty of governments to provide the enabling environment for us to exercise that. And this is really where this conference actually stresses the fact that it is a human right to be able to breathe clean air. And it's a human right to protect our children who are really targeted. I mean, they are targeted by the tobacco industry. So it's very important to make people understand that it is their right, you know, the ultimate unnegotiable human right, so that we can create the movement necessary, the uproar, the right uproar that is needed to actually fight 6 million people dying each year. Imagine, I mean, you don't hear of a war that kills 6 million people. The tobacco war kills 6 million people, and we're not seeing the same uproar and the social movements necessary because people don't realize it's their human right to live and to have a healthy life.
Do we have chances to see a world without tobacco?
Absolutely, absolutely. The fight against tobacco, as you have heard from the speakers, you know, from actually not knowing the causes, the links between tobacco and cancer, and then how the history of moving forward the fight. And we've seen, like you saw in Uruguay, they have stood up to big tobacco and they took them to court and they won.
How did you personally got involved in the cancer fight?
Yes, actually, you know, the cancer chose our family, and it's not the other way around. When our son was diagnosed to have leukemia at the tender age of 2, and at the time we didn't have great cancer care in Jordan in 1997, so we had to go abroad for treatment. And so, of course, after he, thankfully, by the grace of God and great treatment, I am now able to call myself a mother of a cancer survivor. So when I came back to Jordan, it was very clear for me, having gone through the experience and really not being able to imagine what it would have been like for me if I knew that there is a medicine that can save my child, but I cannot have it because I happen to be living in Africa or in other developing world. To know that I was one of the lucky few that was able to get treatment, it was very clear to me that what my life mission was going to be. I am not better than any other mother or parent all over the world. They love their children just as much as we do, and everybody should have their right to live. The chance to live should not be determined by where you live. And this is why then I put myself up for, after working at home, being part of the team, I became a director general of the King Hussein Cancer Foundation for 15 years. And we all worked as part of a team to improve cancer care in Jordan, and we did it. And now our King Hussein Cancer Center in Jordan is one of the best cancer centers in the region, accredited internationally as a top cancer center.
Unfortunately, even in Romania, we do have periods in which we are lacking cancer treatments. And I wanted to ask you, did you manage to form an opinion on how cancer is treated in Romania and how it is tackled here?
Yes, I actually, first of all, had the chance to visit 3 amazing projects here in Romania. I visited the hospice place for palliative care that you have. And then I visited the Magic Camp NGO and saw all the work that they do. And I also had the chance to see the newly built first ever pediatric cancer hospital here in Romania. I think by the Association of Life, these 2 wonderful women.
These are all NGOs?
These are all NGOs. So I am seeing great work from NGOs, really pushing the boundaries, trying their best to provide cancer care, better cancer care for Romanians. But I also saw, of course, you know, I haven't been long enough, but I got the feeling, and talking to many doctors here and professionals here in Romania, there is frustration that there's a lot more to be done. To be able to have the essential medicines for Romanians. You cannot have, I mean, protocols, they have strict number of essential medicines that need to be in a protocol. You cannot just have 1 or 2 and not have the rest. And so that is something so easily fixed, because these medications are off patent, they are not that expensive. It really is a matter of having organization, of having really national cancer control plans. Romania should have a really good national cancer control plan that is not on the shelf but to be implemented. We should have a really good cancer registry. There's a lot more to be done to be able to also increase cure rates here in Romania. And the only way to do that is to have a plan, because plans really help governments, and because so that they don't become too overwhelmed, because you know you will have all the elements in place. Year 1 we will do 1, 2, 3. Year 2 we will do 3, 4, and 5, and so on. So it's doable, but you need more cohesion, more togetherness, all the stakeholders sitting together, and you can do it. And I see a lot of similarities between Romania and Jordan, because here in Romania you have fantastic doctors and nurses. In fact, I heard many of them are being exported abroad. Everybody wants to have Romanian nurses and doctors. So there are no excuses. You have all the elements to be able to deliver quality comprehensive cancer care. Every Romanian should have their right to a quality cancer care and their right to be able to face off with the disease of this century and actually have the chance to survive. And I would certainly add my voice to that. And we as UICC really want to support Romania in that endeavor.